Good afternoon. So, actuator, common robotic actuator utilize the combination of different electromechanical devices like synchronous motor, stepper motor, AC servo motor, brushless DC servo motor, and brushed DC servo motor. So, here is a diagram of actuators: hydraulic motor, pneumatic cylinder, DC motor, servo motor, stepper motor, pneumatic. So these are different actuators. So what is actuators? So actuator can be categorized by the energy source they require to generate a motion. For example, hydraulic actuators use liquid to generate the motion. Pneumatic actuators use compressed air to generate a motion. Electric actuators use external power source such as battery to generate the motion. So pneumatic actuators can utilize a cylinder, diaphragm, or a rotary vane design. The compressed air acts upon a piston or a paddle to move it in one direction, and a counter force consisting of a spring or a second volume of compressed air is applied to the opposite side of the piston or paddle to reverse or maintain a position. For industrial control, pneumatic actuator require positioning electronics, and an instrument air system. Of the three types of actuator, pneumatic tends to have the lowest initial price. However, operating costs are high due to need to generate a clean, dry, compressed air. So maintenance requirements are also the highest of the three actuator types. Now hydraulics actuator means the electro-hydraulic actuators operate a piston with pressurized oil, and a motorized pump sends a fluid from a reservoir through a control valve to opposite side of the cylinder. So the high power density of these system allow for high thrust and fast operating speed. The electrohydraulic tends to have a high initial price. Routine maintenance involve a periodic replacement of seal, O-rings, etc. Since the oil used in hydraulic equipment can pose a fire hazard, this type of actuator may not be suitable for some industrial environments. So electric actuators utilize an electric motor and a gear reduction to produce a force or torque. A variety of technologies can be used for an electric actuator design. So motors may use AC or DC power and an asynchronous, that is squirrel cage or synchronous design. The gearing system can consist of a worm, spur, scotch, yoke among others. So gear lubrication consists of oil-filled gearbox or heavy-duty grease applied to the gear surface. Now, because of the actuators are closely integrated with the driven elements like valve and damper, they are often referred to as assemblies. Examples include a motor operated valve, air operated valve, and a damper drives. Frequently, the actuators may be assumed to come with the equipment package. The example include a control valve or a air damper. So in practice, the actuator are the critical link between the control system and the final element. So its performance can significantly impact many aspects of industrial plant operation and product, and care should be taken to ensure the correct actuator technology and the type is selected. So when selecting an actuator, the actuator should have performance characteristic which will enable a control system to perform as designed. And the electric actuators, so here is a diagram for the hydraulic actuator. Then pneumatic actuators are the devices which are used for converting a pressure energy of compressed air into a mechanical energy to perform a useful task. Then there are some types of pneumatic actuators. So there are three types of pneumatic actuators, and they are linear actuator or pneumatic cylinder, rotary actuator or air motor, and limited angle actuators. Now there are some key actuators perform characteristics. The one is precise repeatable positioning, typical better than 0.15 of the span. The ability to start and stop instantaneously without dead time or position overshoot. Then continuous duty rating without limitations on the number of starts per minute, and it also perform consistently and unaffected by the load. The actuators which are designed with these characteristics provide two extremely important advantages. The first advantage is that an ability to follow the demand signal from the controller precisely and instantly, and this ensures that the actuator responds exactly as directed by the controller. So the actuator is not the limiting factor in the control loop, and controller can function to its optimal levels. And the second advantage is that the high degree of maintenance free reliability. An actuator designed to function as outlined above by default is more rugged than the typical actuator. By the design, then it is capable of much higher degree of reliability. So pneumatic actuators are the device which convert the energy of compressed air or gas into a mechanical motion which regulate one or more final control element, and they are used as a form of automation control to reduce the mandatory human interaction with the system's internal mechanism, which is particularly beneficial for the automatic modulation and emergency shutdown. So the motion of pneumatic actuator may be a linear or rotary depending on the device design. The prototypical actuators use an external compressive force such as compressed air or gas to move a piston along the side. The rotary pneumatic actuators differ from the linear design in that here the torque is generated as opposed to a linear motion, and it can be accomplished by transferring the linear motion of piston to a rotating component. So how this pneumatic actuator works? The pneumatic actuators are reliant on the presence of some form of pressurized gas or compressed air entering a chamber where pressure is built up. Once this exceeds the required pressure level in contrast to the atmospheric pressure outside the chamber, it creates a controlled kinetic movement of piston or gear which can be directed in either a straight or circular mechanical motion. So pneumatic actuators are well suited to a wide variety of application types. So next is electric actuator. So these are the devices which are powered by a motor which convert electrical energy to mechanical energy. So the commonly used actuator in robotics are electric actuators. The electric actuators can be AC or DC actuators. Mostly robots are using DC actuators. There are basically three types of pneumatic electric, that is DC motor, AC motor and stepper motor. So DC motor means it is an electric motor which run on the direct current. AC means it is driven by an alternating, and stepper means it is a brushless DC electric motor which divide a full rotation into a number of equal steps. So this diagram shows the determination of horsepower. 1 horsepower is 550 foot-pounds per second. So before going to this horsepower, there are some advantages of electric actuators. The first advantage is these actuators offer the highest precision among other actuators. Next is it can be easily networked and it can easily program. They offer immediate feedback for diagnostic and maintenance. Next advantage is they can provide a complete control on motion profile, and it can include an encoder to control the velocity, position and torque. Then next is it has a less noise compared to hydraulic and pneumatic actuator. Then no fluid leak, so fewer environmental hazards. There are some disadvantages of electric actuator. The initial cost of electric actuator is higher. Second disadvantage is unlike the pneumatic and hydraulic actuator, these actuators are not suitable for all environments. These are overheating, wear and tear issue, which are these are three compared to pneumatic and hydraulic actuator. And the last disadvantage is that the actuator parameters are fixed. So to change the torque, speed, etc. to different level, actuator should replace. Now there are there are different types of DC actuators like this DC motors, DC gear motor, RC servo motor, stepper motor, BLCD, BLDC motor, that is brushless, smart servo motor, harmonic drives, linear electric actuators. So DC motor, example of DC actuator, one is DC motor. So DC motor will have positive and negative terminal. The output of DC motor shaft will start to spin if we supply DC voltage to the motor terminals, and the speed of the motor shaft can be adjusted based on voltage across the motor terminals. Then the next is DC gear motor. So adding a gearbox on DC motor can increase the shaft torque and reduce the motor speed. Third example is servo motor. It consists of DC motor plus gear system plus a servo control system. So servo control system can be able to rotate the gear shaft with a specific angle. The servo control unit can able to rotate the gear shaft with a specific angle, and the computer inside the robot can command the servo motor to rotate at a specific angle using PWM signal, pulse width modulation. So there are different types of servo motor. The normal servos are called as RC servos, and these are the analog servos and digital servos. Normal RC servos are analog servos. Then the next is stepper motor. So the stepper motor are DC motors which can move in a discrete step, and this motor is having a multiple set of coils organized in a group which is called as phases. The motor will rotate in each step at a time when you trigger each phase in sequence. Then the next is BLDC, that is brushless motor. These motors are quite popular and these are used in robotic application. These BLDC means brushless DC motor. The main difference between the BLDC and DC motor is that ordinary DC motor work using a commutator which is touching the brushes in armature, but there is no commutator and brushless in BLDC. Instead of brushes, it uses an electronic commutation. So BLDC motors are using in robotics widely. Then harmonic drives. It is a brand name of the strain wave gear. So the working of harmonic drive is demonstrated. It is very popular in robotic application nowadays. Next is linear DC actuator. This DC motor can convert the DC voltage to linear motion like pneumatic and hydraulic actuator. So there is a lot of robotic application using linear actuators. So these are the different type examples of DC actuators. Next is horsepower. So horsepower means it is a unit of measurement of power, that is the rate at which work is done. So horsepower is unit of measurement of power, the rate at which work is done. So usually in reference to the output of inner engines or the motors, there are many different standards and types of horsepower. The two common definitions used today are the mechanical horsepower or the imperial horsepower, which is about 745.7 watt, and the metric horsepower, which is 745.5 watt. So these are mainly there are many different standards and the types of horsepower. The two common definitions are mechanical or empirical, which is 745.7, and next is second is metric horsepower. So when torque T is in pound foot unit, the rotational speed N is in RPM, rotation per minute, and power is required in horsepower. The formula for this is given here. Next is variable speed arrangement. So in most of the practical system, it is required to operate the motor at different speed as per the requirement. And this is achieved by the implementation of gears. So next is mechanical elements, robot mechanism. Now this slide shows the mechanical elements which are used in robot. So next point is gear. So what is gears? The gear or the cogwheel is a rotating machine part having a cut teeth, or in the case of the cogwheel, inserted teeth called cogs, which mesh with the another tooth part to the transmit torque. So gear is So what is gear? It is a rotating circular machine part having a cut teeth, or in the case of cogwheel or gear wheel. So the basic principle behind the operation of the gear is it is analogous to the basic principle of the lever. So a gear may also be known as a COG, that is called. The gear devices can change the speed, torque and the direction of a power source. So the gears of different sizes produces a change in torque, creating a mechanical advantage through their gear ratio, and thus it may be considered as a simple machine. The rotational speed and the torque of two machine gears differ in the proportion to their diameters, and the teeth on the two machine gears all have the same shape. There are some types of gears which is shown in this slide. So a spur gear, helical gear, rack and pinion, screw gear, internal gears. So the next point is the gearbox. Uh, Search. There are other types of gearbox are rotary gearbox, worm gearbox, helical gearbox and bevel gearbox. So here gearing ratio is given. The gear trains are given in this diagram. So gearbox means what? The gearbox is a mechanical device which is used to increase the output torque or to change the speed of motor. The shaft of motor is connected to one end of the gearbox, and through the internal configuration of the gears and through the internal the shaft of the motor is connected to one end of gearbox, and through the internal configuration of the gears of gearbox provide a given output torque and speed determined by the gear ratio. So gearbox can modify their speed, torque and other attribute to convert the energy into usable format, and these are used in variety of devices for a broad range of purposes.